They said the signal came from the deepest part of the ocean, a place we thought was silent. They were wrong. My name is Dr. Aris Thorne, and I was the lead linguist on the Trident expedition. Our mission: decipher a message that wasn't human. The submersible, the Abyss Walker, was our high-tech cocoon against the crushing pressure. As we descended, the world outside our viewport turned from sapphire blue to an inky, eternal black. The signal grew stronger, a rhythmic pulse that vibrated through the hull, a heartbeat in the dark. Our sonar specialist, Lena, called out, her voice tight with excitement. Massive geological formation ahead, but it's not natural, the angles are too perfect. On the screen, a structure materialized from the gloom. It was a spire, impossibly tall, carved from a material that absorbed our light. It was ancient, alien, and breathtaking. As we got closer, intricate patterns became visible, glowing with a soft, internal luminescence. This wasn't a rock, it was architecture. The signal was coming from inside. An opening appeared, a perfect archway beckoning us into the unknown. We guided the Abyss Walker through. The interior was a cavern of light. Bioluminescent flora carpeted the walls, casting a kaleidoscopic glow on everything. Strange, crystalline structures hummed with energy. It was a hidden world, a self-sustaining ecosystem thriving in absolute darkness. We were intruders in a secret garden at the bottom of the world. The signal led us deeper, through a network of tunnels that seemed to rearrange themselves around us. The architecture shifted, walls phasing in and out of existence. It felt less like a building and more like a living organism. Our navigator, Jax, was a master pilot, but even he was struggling. "The layout's not static," he muttered, his knuckles white on the controls. "It's responding to us." Then we saw them. Outside the viewport, graceful, ethereal beings danced in the water. They were long and serpentine, with fins like stained glass windows and skin that shimmered with their own light. They weren't hostile, they were curious. They circled our submersible, their large, intelligent eyes observing us, their forms emitting the very signal we had chased. We hadn't found a message, we had found the messengers. I activated the external comms, not with words, but with basic mathematical sequences, prime numbers, the universal language of logic. The beings responded. The light on their skin flickered, pulsing in complex patterns. It wasn't just a signal, it was a language of light. My life's work was right in front of me, a living, breathing alien lexicon. I began the slow, painstaking process of translation, matching their light pulses to our logical prompts. Days turned into a blur of discovery. We learned their history, written in light. They were the Lumen, ancient custodians of the planet. They spoke of cycles, of great ebbs and flows in the planet's life. They showed us visions, projected directly into our submersible. We saw primordial Earth, the rise and fall of great beasts, the coming of ice and fire. They had witnessed it all, silent observers in the deep, but their messages took a darker turn. They showed us a new vision, not of the past, but the future. A cosmic entity, a shadow that consumed stars, was moving through the galaxy. It wasn't evil, it was a force of nature, a galactic reset button. And it was heading for our solar system. The Lumen had sent their signal, not as a greeting, but as a warning. They weren't just showing us their world, they were trying to save ours. Suddenly, alarms blared through the Abyss Walker. "Hull breach, Sector 4, Jax yelled. One of the shifting walls had grazed us, a miscalculation in the living city. Water sprayed into the cabin. We were losing pressure fast. The Lumen swarmed around us, their light patterns frantic, urgent. They seemed to be guiding us, pushing our damaged vessel towards a specific tunnel. We had no choice but to trust them. Jax fought the controls as the submersible was propelled through a blindingly bright corridor. The pressure inside the cabin stabilized, but the ship was dying. We burst out into a vast, central chamber. In the middle floated a sphere of pure, white light, so intense it was hard to look at. The energy readings were off the charts. It was the heart of the city, the source of all its power. The Lumen formed a circle around us and the sphere. Their light pulsed in unison, a final, powerful message. They were offering us a choice. The sphere was a key, a gateway. It could transport us and our knowledge of the coming threat away from this world. But the gateway was one way. We could save the warning, but we could never go home. Stay and perish with our world, or leave everything we knew behind to give another world a chance. Outside, the Abyss Walker groaned, its hull buckling under the immense pressure. The lights flickered and died, plunging us into darkness, save for the glow of the lumen and the brilliant sphere. Lena looked at me, her face pale. Jax gripped the dead controls. The choice was ours. A planet's fate, resting on a handful of explorers trapped at the bottom of the ocean. The lumen waited, their light a silent, pressing question. What would we do? The sphere pulsed, waiting for an answer, a gateway to a new beginning, or the end of everything.